Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So we have beaten PSG 3-1. And honestly a good game. We've actually played very good today and we actually looked very good today. There's obviously a few asterisks still here and there, a few things that we can still improve upon. But overall I think this game just shows you the difference, just in attitude as well, between obviously us under Ancelotti and us under Jupp, because I think it's a very stark contrast. In the first game, obviously, we looked lethargic, we looked like we had nothing to play for, we looked like there was no game plan, and today you could clearly see our game plan, you could clearly see our energy, you could clearly see our desire, our drive, and that's just the difference, like the difference in motivation. And I think it was clear today. I think both these games really highlight where Ancelotti failed and where Jupp is succeeding. But let's show about the game a little bit, because PSG, yeah, like in the first 5 minutes, yeah, when we saw how PSG had the ball, how much possession he had, we all were thinking, what's going on? Why are we not actually, pressing them very much? Why are we just letting them have the ball? And quite frankly, I mean, ultimately the game plan worked. We let them have the ball so that we can then counter. It kind of reminded, I think a lot of people were mentioning as well, but I think it kind of reminded me a little bit of like 2013, 2012, 2013 against Barcelona, where Barcelona had more possession, where we actually gave them the possession and then countered against them. Kind of funny that was against Alves as well. So I mean, if that's the game plan, I don't know. Just because if it's Alves, you just let them have. If you're playing against Alves, just let them have the ball. I don't know whether that's the game plan or not. But like that was our game plan today. That we let them have the ball and countered them. And we looked very good defensively. Which I can't really say that we have done for quite a long while. That we actually looked defensively solid. But today you can actually say that we looked defensively solid. There were still a few issues. I think two players really today weren't as good as they either A, usually are, or B, have been for a while. And like those two players, it's always difficult playing against PSG, and especially when one and two of your two players aren't really pulling their weight, that's when things get a little tricky. But overall, like I said, I think overall we did well. I mean, attacking wise, we looked very good. Our first goal obviously being from Lewandowski, who is obviously always playing the offside trap. The first goal coming from him, second goal coming from Tolisso after a great James cross, and then the third goal again Tolisso after he makes a late run after a great Coman run. Kind of iconic that the French players are playing so well against PSG. I mean, with the World Cup coming up, that's kind of to be expected, because they know, okay, the French coach is going to watch this match, so it's kind of to be expected. But they looked very good. Coman as well. Coman especially. I think Coman, because there's been a lot of question marks about Coman, and he today really proved his point. Ribery, I thought like he played pretty good for the amount of time that he was on, but you could tell that towards the end he was getting tired. He obviously just returned from injury, so that's obviously factoring that in as well. Tolisso was our best midfielder, quite frankly. Obviously, he was not paired with Rudy, and Rudy was one of the players that really looked awful today. Most of his passes went astray. For PSG's goal, he didn't actually run. Like he just let the player run past him and just didn't run whatsoever. And in general, he's been pretty poor today. He's been pretty poor lately, to be fair. Like besides, the first few weeks where he came in and he looked very good. These last few weeks, recently, he's been very poor. But you know what? The winter break is coming up, so maybe maybe they can work on that. The second player that played pretty poor. I mean, not terrible, but pretty poor was Kimmich. Again, defensively, I mean, against smaller teams or whatnot, against weaker teams, his defensive capabilities are really brought into question, because, well, we're always attacking. But today it was clear, that he was out of his depth defensively, let them have the ball a lot of the time. And it's just a shame. Like, he needs to work on that, and I don't know if he's going to be able to actually get to that point during the winter break. It's all going to be, we're all going to see if he is or if he's not. But, yeah, besides those two players, I thought every single player actually looked pretty good. Every single player actually played very good. And the scoreline reflects that we played. We won 3-1. And I feel like we could have perhaps scored another one. Perhaps one more goal. But again, that comes back to us creating chances in the final third and us scoring the goals. That's an issue that we've had lately. I mean, last game we've had the most shots on target in like a long time. I think even as a Bundesliga record or a season record. And we still, didn't really score that many. So that's an issue that we have to work on right now. Being more clinical, working on scoring the goals. We'll see, obviously, what happens after winter break. Obviously, winter break is not yet upon us. But I like what I'm seeing. I feel like this match, and like I said, the previous PSG match, really highlight what the difference is between, obviously, Ancelotti, or between us under Ancelotti and us under Jupp. And if this continues, this should be a very fun season. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Ladies and gentlemen, peace out, everyone, and have a nice day.